stick with me.
All right, opening it up here for MJ.
MJ, how has your life changed in the year since that big play?
It's been crazy. A lot of times people look at me in a light like I'm famous, and I don't realize it sometimes. I think I'm normal. And, that was a big play. People DM me and be like, you made my year. So, shout out to them. I appreciate you letting me make your year.
How many times have you gone back to watch it?
Since the season started, I haven't went back to watch it. I mean, other than yesterday, somebody gave me a birthday shout out, and it was like the video. They was like, how about this? We're playing West Virginia. He did this last year. But I try not to watch it, just build on this year, try to make more memories.
On the note of birthday shout outs, I saw you got another pretty cool one from a fellow Aliquippa grad, guys in the Hall of Fame. How cool was that?
Oh, it was cool. I didn't even expect it. Normally they reach out through private messages. So when he sent that all on Twitter, I was like, oh, I forgot about that picture. That's my guy. Appreciate it.
Are you excited to be playing in Morgantown for the first time?
Yes, definitely. Being there on visits, it was always crazy. So being able to play there this time is going to be fun. I love playing in environments where it seems like they don't like you, and so you get to compete.
What are you guys locking in on for what their receivers to do to try to get open?
Trying to see what they did last year that they used to beat us last year. They did some good things last year coming out, and you got to respect that. And they got some good coaches that'll probably game plan and try to scheme us up and use whatever it is that we've been beat on in the past and whatever it is that they beat us on. So just working on those little things that'll try to help us make plays.
But it was like none of those guys from last year on this year's team, right? It's like a whole new crop of receivers. I mean, are there different skill sets, different talents that you're seeing from this year's group?
Definitely different skill sets. A lot of young guys, guys who are hungry, who just want to make plays. And, I see guys who want to go get the ball and are going to compete. And so when you come out there and you line up, that they're trying to compete and give you their all. So you definitely get a sense of that feel like this is going to be one of those games that every play you got to strap your helmet. So just excited for that.
MJ, it's also a new quarterback. How much more do you have to account for his feet, and what kind of challenge will that be for you guys on Saturday?
Guys who run, it's always hard watching them. You can never predict what they're going to do if they drop back and throw it or they're going to take off and run. So having a guy who can run and use his athleticism, it'll be fun for us to chase him around and try to make some plays.
You guys have only forced a turnover in each of your first two games here. I know that you guys want a higher pace than that. What has been said as far as the focus to try to create more turnovers like you did last year?
Just taking chances on the ball. We're young, especially in the back half. We got to trust our work and trust the process. You put in work during the week and you catch picks, you make plays, you strip the ball, you got to go after it and you got to practice it. So the more you practice it, the more it'll become second nature in the game. And when game time comes, you just got to let loose. Don't think about it. Just go out there and don't be scared to make a play.
MJ, on Monday, Coach Narduzzi talked about maybe a sense of over-communication within your defense. How do you work to clean up those kind of systems going into especially a loud environment this weekend?
Just like I said, just calming down. Sometimes you might think a guy doesn't hear you, and that could just be as simple as the guy just looking at the person next to him. Sometimes it's a guy doesn't hear you because they're not looking at you or just communicating the signal, but knowing that, all right, he got it. I don't have to overemphasize this call or this check or whatever it is that you're trying to communicate to a guy. So, just the small things, working on trusting each other and not trying to overcompensate for one another.
What have you seen of what the safeties have been doing this year? I mean, PJ, John stars, but also we've seen Donovan step up in the game. What have you liked from what they've done so far?
Just coming in, I told Donovan actually in the middle of the game, he made a great tackle. I was like, man, you're coming downhill, you're playing fast. All those guys, man, they play fast, they have a high motor, they're so energetic, and they love football. Being out there with guys who love football makes it so much easier because they care. They don't take anything lightly, take anything for granted. They're always out there trying to do their best and make a play.
What's Shane been like as a leader at the mic position for you guys? We were told by Randy that his observations helped you guys make some key halftime adjustments for how to fix what you guys are doing in the run game. What's he been like?
Shane's smart. You can't come in this building and not see Shane. He's the first one here and probably the last one to leave. He does schoolwork. He's graduated already, and he's just that type of guy. Him on the field is him off the field, and that carries over. So he makes observations in the game that sometimes we might not see or anybody sees, but he's so smart, and he uses his football IQ and his experience. He's played a bunch of football, so he's able to see different things, and he's seen different things, and he knows how to scheme certain things up. So he comes to the sideline and he tells us little things that at corner you're like, man, that helped me. So he's just big helping the defense.
What
Jay,
does
what's
playing on national TV do for guys like you who are thinking about the next level?
It's always exciting, you know. I tell the kids back at home, they get all these cameras in Aliquippa now with the new stadium, that I wish I could have got those type of cameras in high school. Only pictures I got was on the phone. So now just being able to have my sister who lives on the West Coast, she gets to see me. You know, a lot of my family who aren't around or in town, they get to watch me play live without being there. You know, they're watching is like the biggest thing. It's not so much the next level. It's just about my family being able to see it and not miss a game.
MJ, how's the bounce back been? How's the energy been so far this week?
Great. I told them after last week, you know, it's another rivalry. I'll be walking around saying, you know, West Virginia doesn't care. If you're having a bad day, they don't care. You won or lost last week, they really don't care. They're trying to beat you whether you won by 100 or lost by 100 the week before, because that's the type of team they are and that's the game they're preparing to play. So you got to be prepared for that. You got to know that they don't care about what you're going through off the field or anything. They're trying to win this football game, and that's not their problem. So I think we've adapted to that, and we know that, like, it is what it is. You got to move on. The sun came up. We got another opportunity to play football.
You went up against Bub a
Last
lot.
one, by the way, Bigger Canate on deck.
Gotcha. You went up against Bub a lot in camp. You guys went back and forth, some really good battles. What has he been like? You just seen him in practice bouncing back from not making a catch on Saturday.
Same guy. You know, Bub is the same guy when I deflect the ball or when he catches it. He's got coaching points, or he might have a little something to say, but that's just the competitor in him. And I know him. He doesn't let anything faze him. He's smooth sailing, never get too high, never get too low. So I expect big things out of him for the rest of the season just because of the work he put in. One bad game or whatever people want to say doesn't define it. Everybody makes mistakes, and, you know, there's things we all need to work on every time we come back. Like Coach Sig said, every football player has something they need to work on, and whether it's for him, whatever it is, he got to get better at, and that's what we're here for. I'm here to help him get better, and he's here to help me get better.
All right,
Cool.
thank you.